Flash mobs have sort of existed alongside social networks, but not specifically come from social networks. The earlier flash mobs were mostly organized by wireless communication, just text messaging or email.
Dance flash mobs have become one of the most popular forms to organize, bringing strangers from all walks of life to share in an act that's become an evolving cultural phenomenon. This flash mob was organized by a group in San Francisco, California. Ferry Plaza is the first of 3 locations where Bay Area Flash Mob will confuse spectators with their impromptu performances.
My favorite is, it's a flash mob, it's a flash mob! That's my favorite reaction.
Sometimes people don't know it's a flash mob too, and they're like, what is happening?
Join me as we go behind the movement. This is Bay Area Flash Mob. They meet twice a week in the Mission District to practice their flash mob choreography.
We're really not a typical flash mob group.
5 and 6 and 7 and 8.
It used to be, gosh, how do we let people know that this place even exists? But then the word started getting out and we got picked up by different websites that sort of announce fun, inexpensive things to do in the Bay Area, and then things just completely changed for us.
3, 2, 1.
Most flash mob groups utilize online message boards and social networking sites to organize their performances. The instantaneous and viral nature of this type of communication makes it easier than ever before to recruit participants.
One of the problems that mobilizers face in trying to get a collective action to happen is that people are reluctant to go first. You know, they want to be sure that other people will go with them. Now, if there is, a message that comes out that we're all going to go at this time, it makes it a lot easier to get people to move. And, using social media, you can arrange that in a flash mob in a way that you can't as easily with other forms of mobilization.
Most of Bay Area's flash mobbers have not had any formal dance training. But for those who have trained in dance, the experience is unique.
This is my 3rd practice, and it's my first time doing the flash mob. I heard about it through a friend of a friend, and I've been dancing my whole life and just wanted to do something fun. I'd heard about flash mob in the past, but never tried it, so I usually do modern dance, so this is totally different from what I usually do, but I love this style. It's sort of like a non-judgmental, fun atmosphere where you can feel like you're performing, but not being critiqued by like a critical audience, I guess. And there's something about performing out in public that's really kind of invigorating and liberating. So I don't know if that's, maybe people share that experience.
Well, I think everyone's lives are so structured nowadays that it's nice to just let loose and kind of like throw a curveball in the middle of a normal day.
At exactly 7:27 p.m. on Tuesday, more than 150 people converged in the back of Macy's department store and debated the merits of a very expensive Oriental rug. Most of them did not know each other. They heard about the event through a chain of emails that it's collectively called the Mob Project.
If people knew who I was, a magazine editor, somebody who had a particular identity, it almost didn't matter what it was, right? But if people started to see these mobs as having a leader who had an identity, then I worry that people would sort of start to ask, well, what's in it for him? Like, oh, well, maybe this mob isn't just about everybody getting together, you know, to do something absurd and to have fun and to sort of like the whole idea of people kind of sublimating themselves to the crowd, which was the premise of it. I worry that if there was a definite leader, then people would really start to question that premise.
Wasik had become annoyed by hipsters in New York, rallying around meaningless trends. He decided to conduct a social experiment to find out how many people would organize over a meaningless chain email, encouraging them to mob various locations in Manhattan.
Even though there was this kind of joke like, I'm going to tell you where to go and you're all going to go, that was always sort of part of the joke of the flash mobs. On some level, people were just doing what they were told, but of course on another level, everybody has to take on the project as their own in order for the mob to spread at all. The thing that really struck me when I was there was just seeing the way that everybody felt so invested in what was happening. Nobody even had to know who I was, and on some level it really didn't matter who I was. It was like you were putting on a play and everyone was a star, or the group itself was a star.
The mobs received immediate criticism from the media. The New York Times called the gatherings disturbingly empty of purpose, while the rest of the world tried to figure out the intended message or significance of these gatherings.
People don't necessarily get a lot of group actions like this in modern life, and so it could be that one thing that flash mobs deliver people is this sort of experience that's rooted in our most basic wiring, that we want to experience collective effervescence. You know, we want to come together with other people and do something together, and there's this feeling of cohesion and solidarity and de-individuation the they sort of lose themselves in a crowd, and that might seem like not necessarily enjoyable in an individualist society like the United States. But if you've ever been at like a big concert or at a sporting event or something and found yourself doing something basic and visceral, like dancing or cheering or what have you, with a bunch of other people or singing in a choir or something like that, you know that losing yourself in a group offers a sort of visceral thrill that's hard to get from something else.
Hey guys, what's going on? I'm Conroe.
I'm Stacy.
We are Flash Mob America.
And we're trying to change the world one dance at a time, and we want you to join us.
So, once they start walking away and we start walking, you all have red hats on.
I think initially we were passionate about it because it was a way for us to create on our own and do these gigantic productions. And and as an actor, you do a lot of waiting. So it was like we were getting active and just doing our own thing.
I think the reason that people want to be involved in flash mobs is because of community. I think that it gives people a sense of family and belonging that they don't have in any other place. You venture out of your house and it's real in-person interaction.
I would say that this group just means everything to me, basically. It's really a huge passion that I have. At work, I'm just a software engineer, which is cool, but when I do this dance flash mob, I can really express myself, I can really be myself.
But this is something that really anybody can access, whether they go to church or into sports or are still in college or or whatever. They could do this.
Flash mobbers are every different ethnicity, every age, every body shape, every social class. It's all walks of life.
That's the end? No!
You never know, you might have some sort of star, hidden dancer inside of you that you never knew of that will be discovered.